Hare Krishna, my name is Janmashtami Krishna Das, and along with me is my wife,
I'm
Kalavati.
Kalavati Devi Dasi. Hare
Kalavati Devi
Krishna.
Dasi. Hare Krishna. The question is how I came to Krishna Consciousness. This is going back maybe early 2000 when I met a devotee. This was in Marathon, in December time, when a devotee came along and tried to give me a Bhagavad Gita. And I was at that point not interested in any religious movements, or was not interested in God per se. So this person came, and this was in Mira Road station, Mumbai, Mira Road. He came and tried to give me this book. This was early 2001, if I remember vaguely. And I sort of said, no, I'm not interested. But the train was late. And because my shift was, I was working for, the Tata Group, the big conglomerate, big corporate, and I was very young, puffed up with a lot of money. I sort of said, okay, the train is late, let me just do some, in Mumbai we use the term time pass with this guy for 15 minutes. And I started talking to him, he started talking to me about Krishna, and I said, what is Krishna? I don't believe in him. Believe in God, etc. So he was very nice, very courteous, and after 15 minutes, sort of in 10 minutes, he said it is only 50 rupees, and I had probably 1,000 rupees in my pocket at that point. I don't remember how much it was, and I sort of said, 50 rupees? Can you negotiate? So he said, Prabhuji, 50 rupees a donation, So I said, no, I'll give you 35 rupees or 40 rupees. Can't give you 50 rupees, too much for this. Actually, I was not interested to buy. It was just, arguments that I wanted to have with him, because I wanted to spend 15 minutes. The train was late. And suddenly the train arrived and I said, oh, thank God the train has arrived. I want to get rid of this guy now. So I boarded into the train. I got in and the train started moving. Alright? And I saw this guy. Even though I did not buy Bhagavad Gita from him at that point, he was still smiling. It's very nice. And very courteous. And I could not forget, from Mira Road to Andheri in Mumbai, it takes around 20 minutes. And those 20 minutes were the toughest 20 minutes of my life. I can still remember those. I kept thinking, what did this guy do wrong? He's asking 50 rupees, this book, Bhagavad Gita, it's a sacred book. I could have had it, kept it in my home, no issues. But because there's so much of puffed up, so much ego, so much arrogance I had, some of it still have, at that point I just said no for that. And I got down in Andheri station, and then I decided to come back. I thought maybe I should take a train back to Mira Road and meet that guy, give him 50 rupees and get the book back. But for some reason I thought my shift is there, can't be bothered, I don't believe in this, carry on. So I got down, but I still kept it in my mind, thinking, oh my God, I should have actually bought that, it wasn't a big deal, 50 rupees. So I came out of Andheri station and I saw another guy, another brahmachari, he had a Bhagavad Gita in his hand. I went and rushed, grabbed the book from his hand and gave 50 rupees, and he was a bit shocked, I said, oh, what's wrong with this guy? He looked at me and said, oh, what are you after? I said, look, don't worry about it, no questions asked, 50 rupees, give me the book. Got that book, kept it. Actually, I read it. In probably 4 months, I went really hard, read the whole book, did not actually understand a word. So I closed the book, kept it. For 2 years, it was lying there in my house somewhere. And then when I was going to New Zealand in 2005, so it was 2-3 years, it was just left, nothing, it was untouched. Because I found it really, really hard to understand. At that point, I was not interested. But I read it. In 2005, I went to Hamilton in New Zealand to study, and I had this book. I thought might as well take it along with me. My mother insisted, so I took it. So I kept that book in the hostel where I was living, and then suddenly one day I thought, probably I should open it and try it, give it another go. And I opened it, started reading. For some of the other reason, I remember vaguely. I started with chapter 12. Bhagavad Gita, in a Bhakti Yoga chapter, and that was very inspiring because that chapter is so Krishna is so, explaining those points which I was going through in my life. At that point I was just confused about everything, and questions been asked, and that whether we should be talking about Krishna as to be interested in bhakti, etc. So, and then again, I never associated with devotee before that. Temple was only a few kilometers away from me. Never been there, once maybe. Not interested. So never actually been in contact with any devotees. But in Hamilton, I read their book, and then I came to I met my wife Kalavati Devi Dasi at that point. We were very new, trying to understand what's going on in a spiritual and material life. What was going, especially in material life, we were confused. Studying, really young couple, and we happened to go to one day Hamilton Temple.
Yeah.
What happened next?
I was just like, I really used to feel nice about him because he used to read Bhagavad Gita so sincerely every day, and that's what I really liked about him. And he just, one day asked me, would you like to go to the temple, because we were just students and we had no money that time. And there was like some nice prasadam they used to serve every Saturday night. So I immediately said, yes, why not? I will come with you.
So it was actually really for food. and someone actually told, one of our friends said that they make special puri and sabji. And we were there in New Zealand for 6-7 months. By the time 4 or 5 months. And because Hamilton is such a small town, we actually haven't tasted.
And we were away from our family
as well. So
we just wanted to
try something. And again, Indian puri sabji was a big thing. So puri, wow, can't be better than this.
And halwa.
And halwa as well. So we tried. We made a point. We went to the temple. And then what happened after that?
We went with another friend of ours. His name is Mahesh. And he just used to eat like, he just used to eat so much.
He had a bhima quality. He used to eat.
And the Prabhuji there, his name is Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, and his family used to take really nice care of us. And they were just like family to us. And we used to make fun of Mahesh all the time. And one day, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, after Gaura Aarti, he just said, why do you guys eat non-veg? You should just leave it. And Mahesh started crying.
And that was a turning point of our life. Because what happened was, until that point, we were coming and eating prasad, free food, but we had our own ways. Actually, what happened was, we used to go to temple on the way, we had a Burger King. So we went to Burger King, eat whatever, a normal diet, that food, and then go to the temple, because temple prasad was 8:30 and we used to need to eat something. So that was a normal process. But then one day he made a really good comment. He said, why do you need to eat this? And sort of we said, okay. So I went to my fiancée that time, and I said, should we stop eating non-vegetarian food?
That Prabhuji actually opened Bhagavad Gita and said, these are the things you can offer to Krishna, and non-veg, you can't offer non-veg to Krishna, so why do you eat this?
Why do you eat that? Yeah.
And he actually explained it so nicely that we felt he genuinely cares for us. Like he genuinely, he has no other motive. He genuinely, cares.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's when we just left eating non-veg overnight. Like we just made a decision and we stopped eating non-veg.
And the one thing happened at that point, we decided not to eat non-veg, but he wanted to check. So he came to a hostel one day, and he was living some girls' hostel, I was in a boys' hostel, and Mahesh was next to me. So he came along and looked at my room. There was nothing there, but he went to Mahesh's room, and he opened Mahesh's fridge, and there came all the chicken pies. So he took all the pies, and then he said, and I was, then at that point my mother insisted me that I should worship Durga. So I had all the Durga deities. And all the deities you can think of. So he came and grabbed all that and he said, don't worry, I'll give you something. And until that point he said, just worship Bhagavad Gita. So I was doing Aarti every day, Bhagavad Gita, Hare Krishna. And then, that's how it started. So that's how we actually came to Hare Krishna. Met Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, and he inspired us. And then one day, in a whole congregation, he said, who wants to get mala to chant? And in the crowd of 300 people, for some other reason, I put my hand up. And everyone laughed because I was in a casual, in my shorts, my short pants, because all this, there was all senior devotees or, everyone laughed at me. I said, okay, that's fine, don't worry. He said, don't laugh, give it to me. That was the beginning of Hare Krishna, because he gave it to us, chanting beads, and next day he gave it to my wife as well. And that's how we started. And he said, don't worry, just chant one round, and then one became two, and two became four, four became 8, 8 became 16, and it's growing. So it was a simple process, and the instructions, sort of initial instructions were like, just keep it very simple. Don't try to leave anything. Just add Krishna to your life.
Yeah.
Don't try to stop what you're doing, because initially we were very reluctant. We were thinking to start Krishna consciousness, to stop something, And he said, don't worry, if you're drinking tea, carry on drinking tea, but chant Krishna's name. And slowly and gradually, by chanting Krishna's name, the tea was gone, the onion, garlic were gone, there's intoxication, my friends were gone, people who were drinking or partying a whole night were gone. So slowly and gradually, life changed and things changed, but it took time. And I think what I've learned is how to be patient and with determination and right guidance and support, you can actually take Krishna consciousness very seriously. And we started trying to serve a Guru Maharaj. So in 2009 we met a Guru Maharaj by Krishna's mercy, and we got initiation. And before that there was also senior devotee, His Grace Amresh Prabhu from Weekend, Auckland. He also trained us very nicely and took care of us. And Mataji, Purnapagya Mataji as well.
Yeah.
So we got trained very nicely there as well, 5-6 years. So this is how this is what the story is. And please do make a comment if you want to, and let us know what you feel. Hare Krishna.
I just want to thank Meera Road devotees as
well, yes,
to give us this nice opportunity. And
yes.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Take care. Hare Krishna. My name is Janmashtami Krishna Das, and along with me is my wife,
I'm Kalavati Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. The question is how I came to Krishna consciousness. This is going back maybe early 2000 when I met a devotee. This was in Marathon, in December time, when a devotee, and I sort of said, no, I'm not interested. But the train was late, and because my shift was, I was working for the Tata Group, the big conglomerate, big corporate, and I was very young, puffed up with a lot of money. I sort of said, okay, the train is late, let me just do some, in Mumbai we use the term time pass. He came along and tried to give me a Bhagavad Gita. And I was at that point not interested in any religious movements, or was actually not interested in God per se. So this person came, and this was in Meera Road station, Mumbai, Meera Road. He came and tried to give me this book. This was early 2001, if I remember vaguely. And I sort of said, 50 rupees? Can you negotiate? So he said, Prabhuji, 50 rupees a donation, So I said, no, I'll give you 35 rupees or 40 rupees. Can't give you 50 rupees, too much for this. Actually, I was not interested to buy. It was just, arguments that I wanted to have with him, because I wanted to spend 15 minutes. The train was late. And suddenly the train arrived, and I stayed with this guy for 15 minutes. And I started talking to him. He started talking to me about Krishna, and I said, what is Krishna? I don't believe in him. Believe in God, etc. So he was very nice, very courteous. And after 15 minutes, sort of in 10 minutes, he said, it is only 50 rupees. And I had probably 1,000 rupees in my pocket at that point. I don't remember how much it was.